I'm going to let him sneeze first.
I gotta come. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
Shit.
Quick, touch his balls.
No pressure, but we're all staring at you.
If you touch my balls, it'll make me come.
Bad timing on that.
That's what I sound like.
On the audio recording, if you touch my balls, it'll make me come. Ah!
I love it.
Okay, junctions. Hello and welcome to the Games and Tomatoes podcast. I'm Brent. I'm joined as always by my good friend Kirk. Say hi, Kirk.
Say hi, Kirk.
And we're joined as always by our good friend Benny. Say hi, Benny.
I have some existential dread right now because of what you just said.
That'll happen. Yeah, the pre-show was intense. We talked about fucking Requiem for a Dream and mushrooms and Lux Turna and
Exacerbating.
Women's Foot Locker.
and women's footlockers. and how wordplay is fun. Hey, fellas. So, I feel like this can't be a more off the rails intro than the last episode. So we're off to a good start. Kirklestein, what do you got? What are you drinking over there? What are you putting in your body?
I got some Vignola here from Peculiar Winery. I've been drinking that on and off because Brent was gracious enough to let me kind of just kill the entire bottle of it.
Yeah.
Then also, I recently had to go to like a college summer orientation registration kind of situation with the son. So I got to visit a lot of breweries that are around Wichita, Kansas.
Nice.
One of them being the Wichita Brewing Company, and I am drinking Woo Shock Wheat.
Woo!
Yeah, official beer of the Shockers.
Nice.
Because that's Wichita State. They're the Shockers. Insert joke here. Obvious joke for that matter.
I like that they're so like unprecious about what college is. They're like, yeah, absolutely, we have an official beer. Like, let's just cut to the fucking chase here. This is what you should be drinking. It's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, they embrace the weird mascot and the name and everything down there. I gotta
absolutely.
appreciate it. They're just like, we're not gonna try to hide it. We're gonna hug it as hard as we can, and then we're just gonna make you feel like an asshole for bringing it up.
It's you haven't lived until you've gone to a basketball game and seen a 70-year-old woman given the shocker. That's when you know you've made it in the world.
Just like threateningly, or like was there another person involved?
Well, no, they do that at the games.
I got that, but also I wasn't.
I mean, it was also threatening. But that's.
I don't know if there was a police report filed or like. Anyway,
Allegedly. Benny, what are you drinking?
Well, speaking of wine that Brent gave to people, which we'll see how Kirk and I feel later. I am drinking. I guess it's honey wine. I'm drinking some blackberry mead from Pirtle Winery that Brent shared with me, and it's delicious. I love their meads. In fact, I wish they would expand that production just a little bit to some other stuff. Because actually, if you have access to Pirtle Winery, I really like their effervescent meads.
Ooh,
I like getting those sometimes.
sweet. Yeah, I don't know that I've had one of the effervescent ones.
And because the last episode, I did not have a colossal beer or I was not drinking a colossal beer at the time, but I did have one with me. I am drinking a Tallboy Casey Beer Co. Dunkel.
As is writ in the old magic.
Yes. Yep.
Benny has brought.
Well, we wouldn't want to.
beer.
We wouldn't want to break reality or anything.
We don't want to offend the old gods.
Yes.
Casey Beer Co. Dunkel is like one of my top 3 beers of all time.
Turn into fishmen.
Absolutely.
And summon forth Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just break break causality in the high energy lab.
Is it bad that like anytime I like see any kind of Lovecraftian horror, I'm just like, yeah.
You think of me?
Can we just get this over with? Like, that sounds great.
You
like,
think of my tentacles? Tentacle?
Just the one. Yeah.
Suction cups.
It's weird that it's got suction cups. That's where I was going next. I don't know if I should be excited or disturbed.
Wait till you see my beak.
Oh God! I know where that is. Got that figured out.
I haven't found it yet. So you're gonna have to help me out, man. Oh man, you were so right for a little while in terms of how on the rails this was going to be. And
we did a good solid 60 or 90 seconds of understandable thing before we got to the beaks and tentacles on Benny.
It's always the squid of it all that really wrecks things. But this blackberry mead is delightful.
Mm-hmm. I agree, because I'm also drinking some out of my Drinker Bell cup. As I was explaining to the guys, my wife likes to get these little like metal
tumblers.
Yeah, little tumbler wine glass things. And so there's a lot of them that's like, it say delightful things like drink up witches. And this one's Drinker Bell with a little outline of Tinker Bell. And stuff like that. Very masculine to be drinking out of. It matches my energy, my aura.
I mean, to look at you drinking it, I'm not thinking that you're overly feminine.
Is it the beard, the backwards baseball cap, and the 300 pounds that's doing that? And the hair sticking out of every corner of me?
And the fact that you offered to whip it out.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me while I whip this out. All right. Everyone likes Mel Brooks. Kirk!
Mm-hmm.
We have a game that we're going to talk about today. Do you want to introduce said game?
Sure. So if you go back to, I believe it was the games we're thankful for.
Yes.
I came off as really passionate about this game, and I actually got some remarks about it. So I'm like, all right, well, we can go ahead and just talk about it, because it is a good game to talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about Final Fantasy VIII. It came out in 1999, back in the day when Square Enix was still called Squaresoft. I think this is actually one of the last games to actually be,
I think so.
Or was 9 still Squaresoft?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of the last.
But by the PS2 era, I think it was Square Enix.
Yeah.
It was for sure.
Yeah.
And 8 and 9 came out in very rapid succession. I think 9 came out 2 years after 8.
I think so.
It was pretty quick after that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game came out for the PlayStation. Was lauded as kind of like the first more realistic, if that makes sense, Final Fantasy game with more proportioned characters, because everybody up to this point was very cartoonish or had very exaggerated. Benny's already words are fun. I'm not going to get into it
Very
right
exasperated character models.
But
they exacerbated those character models.
And still, even for a while, 9 still had the exaggerated character features,
absolutely.
like the big feet, big hands, that sort of thing.
Like the Studio Ghibli kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. But 8 really tried to tie it more or less closer to normal proportions as much as possible.
It's the Twilight Princess of the FF series.
And by the time we get to Final Fantasy IX, the proportionality in the character design is by choice rather than by
graphical limitations.
And by assuming that they were
Lego people are good enough.
Like Barrett is 3 polygons with an upsettingly urban
I was going to say,
mechanism.
Despite the fact that he's 3 polygons, somehow they managed to make it incredibly racist.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sorry, continue.
Yep. God, I can already imagine there's people out there right now. They're just like, God, they haven't talked about Final Fantasy VII yet. Fuck this podcast. Fuck these guys.
Maybe we'll never do it just to be...
Just to kind of spite you. Yeah, no, I hate that game.
Yeah. And again, I've said this on the show before, Final Fantasy VII, it's not a bad game. I'm never saying that. I have never said that. I just don't think it's the end-all, be-all of every fucking video game ever. That annoys me. You're obnoxious. Yeah. Shut up.
I think it's a good game, but I think we're also, if we're talking to a younger audience, I wonder if they're still hearing that. And if we are reaching back in time.
I still see it on top lists. You know what I mean?
I think both 8 and 9 are much better. I think
it's better. Yeah, 8, 9, and 10 are better than 7.
They're all better than 7. 7's fine.
I think the PS2 run of Final Fantasy is arguably better than the PS1 run of Final Fantasy.
you're not going to find me arguing. You might find me putting 13 and 7 at about the same level for my personal take on it, but I think that 10 and 12 are really good games, and a lot of people didn't like 12 at the time. It's my second favorite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 8,
but anyway, sorry.
No, it's all good. The reason why I picked 8 is just, again, listen to our previous episodes, please, and like and comment and subscribe and get on Discord and make friends.
Smash that bell.
Yeah. Yeah. Summon that GF to attack the bell or whatever.
Yeah, I got a junction my gluten free.
Yeah, there you go. No, it just in 1999. I mean, this is like American Pie.
Yeah.
Years of.
I still think we need to do year episodes. That would be really fun.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
But it was I would have been in junior high.
Yep.
Yeah, junior high when this game came out, and it came out at the appropriate time because all the characters in this game are in their late teens, early 20s.
Yep.
So me being an impressionable, 15, 16-year-old, whatever, it closer to home playing through it.
What was your impression of Quistis?
Oh, dude, step on me.
Right? I was like,
with them giant heels. Like,
I didn't remember feeling that way when I was younger. But I think in retrospect, my opinions have shifted a little bit.
The glasses and the tight skirt and the big boots, and I was like, "What? This is."
And the hair up, but also could come down.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I noticed.
But this game was actually really impressive and from a physical and then also developmental standpoint because the game is like I remember getting Resident Evil 2. That's 2 discs, but it's 2 separate stories essentially. There's Leon and Claire,
right?
Or like Metal Gear Solid. That game's 2 discs long, but that's also a really long game.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VIII is 4 discs long, and they are all full.
Yeah.
So it's just to give you a scope of how long it can take someone to beat this game. And this game was also really set the standard of what people wanted as far as Final Fantasy open world games.
Yeah.
Because already, damn near from the very beginning, you can just kind of go everywhere. You're kind of landlocked a little bit, but it's not like Final Fantasy X where everything is unlocked, at like the very end of the game.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty open world from the very beginning. Yeah. And Final Fantasy IX would also take note of that because I was also at a certain point not at first, but eventually it was very open world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
like you can try to follow the story, but the game also kind of encourages you to go to these other towns you see in the distance and just fuck around for a while. Yeah. Like do it. I wish more modern Final Fantasy games are like that.
Yeah,
but it's not necessarily the case.
It's one of the FF games that I've played. This was, and so just a little backstory. I hadn't played this before. This was I maybe put 10 minutes into it. Here or there. But like really sat down to actually play it. This was the first time that I really like put serious hours in. I'm not quite done with it. I'm probably about 25 hours into the game.
It's a big game.
It's a big game.
I was really hoping to get it finished by now. I haven't quite. I did sit down yesterday and like watched a like plot recap of the last like disc and a half. Just so I get myself up to speed. But this was the Final Fantasy game that I enjoyed fucking around in the most.
Yeah.
Like it is just genuinely fun to like just kind of wander around and play Triple Triad and shit.
Mm-hmm. And God, yeah, Triple Triad. That's like for all of our Triple Triad is like modern Gwent. It's so popular, people will actively play the game just so they can play a different game inside the game.
Yeah.
And it's one of the quirkier titles in my opinion in terms of like how it approaches storytelling and characterization. I got to be honest, there's a middle ground of this game that I've never experienced because I also haven't finished this playthrough, but I actually watched a friend of mine beat this game back in high school. So I've seen the end of this and now the majority of like the middle half of the game. Yeah. So there's a little window there that I intend to finish because I'm actually really enjoying it. Yeah. I've had a really busy few weeks and I'm sorry I didn't. So I did
That's
what you did where I
went back. Yeah.
I went to remind myself, but I had actually seen the ending before. But what I didn't remember in terms of like characters was, and I know I told you this, and I said it like with love because I love this about it, but it's like the most high school anime game of all of the Final Fantasy games.
It really is.
But that's okay. It knows that, and like, that's kind of why it's quirky.
The Degrassi fucking
it is. No, for sure. Well, it's like all the characters are like that to a certain extent. Like they're all dealing with their own insecurities in some way.
Mm-hmm. There's some Saved by the Bell to it.
Yeah.
But like Irving with his oh yeah, like I'm the big man on campus. Like I'm the big swinging dick, and it's like, and then he chokes. He's so like brittle.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Quistis with her whole like she's trying so hard to like be the
she wants to be a good teacher, but she's also the same age as damn near everyone else.
She's a kid. She's still a kid.
And then she has to deal with being demoted essentially.
Yeah, because she's got the hots for River Phoenix. Which,
Again, God damn it, I hate how accurate that statement is. I've said that to him already like multiple times today. He's just nailing it. Damn it, Brent. I'm going to give a quick little like plot thing. It won't take very long because it does get really complicated, but the most important thing to know is...
It's a little Kojima.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And we can talk about how the story evolves. Like,
hey, we covered 2 time travel games today.
Oh, yeah.
With memories going back in time?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
I thought it was time travel, but I mean, like, I would accept
but it. But the sorceress wants to do time compression, so no one exists, but I don't think they actually travel through time here.
I thought she was, like, controlling someone, like,
retroactively. Yes, that's true, yeah, because she's... I'll talk about that in the plot real quick. Because that is, like, the first part of the plot.
And then you can jump back to Laguna, and that's in the past.
That's more remembering, though. I wouldn't say that's time travel. That's just experience.
You're having like a curated memory.
Yeah, it's like a flashback kind of thing.
But
to talk about the plot in the future. There was no
flashback sounds better than the pretentious shit I said.
It is, because it is a flashback. Yeah, like the character's like dream of the what happened. Anyway, so your main character, Squall.
Yep.
Stupid name.
But I mean, it fits right in with
he's
cloud and there's a squall
and lightning.
Very angsty. So your character and then all the other characters you meet, for the most part, all belong to a school.
Yeah.
Some kids stay in the school. Mm-hmm. Some kids, commute from nearby towns. Yep. But that's kind of how the school works. Is it's for everyone growing up.
It's like a military boarding school.
Yes, it is. Some of these schools, because there's multiple schools, some are more militaristic than your character's school, which is more about, honestly, like knowledge, what a school should be doing. And that's where you meet all of your other friends. There's
Scrappy Doo.
No, we were just talking about her. Quistis. Yeah, I wanted to say Quintus. I'm like, no, it's not Quintus. Quistis, who is actually your teacher at the time, even though she's just a year older than you. But she's like a prodigy type and smoking hot.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine as hell.
Yeah. There's the antagonist, one of the antagonists of the game, Cypher. In fact, the game starts you in a hospital bed because the opening CGI sequence is you two like practicing your weapons against each other.
I loved that, by the way, because when you're watching that intro, that opening cinematic, I just assumed, okay, these are going to be like the big, like epic confrontations in the game, and it's like, no, some of this is backstory. Mm-hmm. Like some of this already happened.
Yeah. This is just context for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah. The cinematics in this game are are head and shoulders above what are in FF7.
That was something I want to talk about when we get to like display or like the visuals. How they chose to use the cinematics is totally different than previous games, even on the PlayStation in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You wake up in a hospital bed because you were just fighting this
asshole.
Yeah. Sorry, I just burped right into the microphone. Now it smells like taco.
That's why we each have our own.
Yep.
I'll make sure to label yours after this.
Yeah, and these are really big schools too, by the way. Like, it's big enough where obviously it has a full-on infirmary.
Yeah.
There's also training grounds, a big old parking lot, etc. Big old cafeteria. Like, imagine whatever school you went to, it's probably, I'd say 3 or 5 times as big.
Yeah. So it's like a big enclosed. Like I say, like it's like a military boarding school. Like, I mean that really is the vibe.
Yeah, but more so on the size of like a full-on university. Really.
Yeah. Like small college kind of thing.
It's almost like a self-contained city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is
For sure.
Then another character that also goes to the same school as you, Zell.
I love Zell.
Zell was great.
Zell is one of my favorite characters in the game, except for his really upsetting teeth. He's got that opening cinematic where he smiles to camera. He does the disco robot from Cosmic Star Heroine thing, but he got and it's just like, oh God, put those away.
And I will say, as a young man, it influenced my own hairstyle.
For fucking sure.
Yeah. Everyone that's known me for as long as you have knows that I usually kind of spike my bangs up while Zell does the exact same thing.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense. But Zell's cool.
It was seeing Zell at a young age, and I was so in love with this game, I'm like, I want to copy that hair. No. And so I've had it ever since. And sometimes I would forget where I kept doing that, like why I kept doing that style, and then it's like, oh, yeah, because I was an angsty teenager, and then it kind of became an actual style for a while, which was weird, like in the early 2000s.
Zell is maybe the least angsty of any of the characters. Like he might be the most grounded.
He's a simple little dude.
Yeah,
obnoxious for sure.
Yeah, for sure he's annoying, but like in a way that like you just want to kind of tussle his hair and give him a hug and be like, all right, shut the fuck up, get in the back.
Arguably causes an international incident.
Oh, definitely he does.
Yep. And I think Zell, I can't remember. I know he lives in the nearby town, but I think he's staying at the school anyways.
He is. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you meet his parents, and I think he might be one of the only ones. Well, no, you meet Renault's parents, or dad. But yeah. Anyway, keep going.
You technically meet her mom.
Yeah,
but you don't. Laguna does.
But yeah, you do, but you don't.
Usually you can graduate from the school as everyone else, go into the workforce or whatever, or you can stick around and kind of become like a mercenary or part of the whole military aspect of this. So these schools are called gardens, which, dumb. I never really liked that term. Like, just call it a school, man. Like, that's what this is. And then if you become one of these military mercenary types, you're called seeds.
Right.
Dumb.
I mean,
I think for how much I love this game, I wouldn't think so many things were dumb, but it's like it's more the words, not the.
It's a Japanese game from 1998, localized in America.
Yeah.
Well, and I will say there's like a plot reason too, because there's like a prophecy as to why they're called that. It doesn't make it any less stupid, but again, as Benny was saying, this is a slice of life like anime, and you gotta kind of take the good with the bad with that.
Yep. And the game kind of starts out where you're on your way to becoming, like, you have to go through tests to become one of these soldier types.
Yeah.
Because your character, it's revealed where you don't know your parents. That's why you stay at the school. So you're orphaned. Which, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Damn near every character is an orphan in this game.
Right.
You find out. Even Zell. Which really didn't make a lot of sense to me, but I get it.
No.
He just actually got adopted. Most everyone else didn't.
It's because he's cute.
Although with the timeline, it kind of makes sense for these kids at this stage of their development to maybe, given the historical events.
Yep.
That I'm sure we'll cover.
Yep. No. Basically, one of these other rival schools that we're talking about, they're also attached to like local, state, and city governments.
Yeah.
And so they'll often employ the mercenary types to also work for the military, effectively. Yeah. So one of these rival schools in states, they're attacking a nearby town that is under your school and state's protection. And that's where you go to take, quote unquote, take your test.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the game starts to take off and shit gets crazy in a big hurry. You basically land on the beach of this town.
Beach.
Really cool sequence, by the way.
Yeah.
Because your goal there is to reestablish. They have this big communications tower that the other rival state or rival government is really interested in. You're kind of going there to make this whole fight, this whole battle stop.
Right.
Like, get the other government to just knock it off. Like, don't attack this innocent town with innocent people.
Right.
Like, get the fuck out.
And there's this interesting dynamic to the feeling of the world that doesn't get explained right away, which is that, like, it feels like modern era in a lot of ways. Like, it feels like technologically we're every bit as advanced now as they are in the game. But there's also this feeling of there having been, like, a regression of some sort.
Yeah.
And like, it's weird that they're talking about like this communications tower hasn't been used in 20 years or something like that. But it's not like an out of date. It's not like a CB radio tower. Like, this thing has got like a satellite dish on it, and it's impressive. It's a piece of technology.
They explained how it was basically used as a TV broadcast.
Yeah.
An old school over the air kind of thing.
Well, yeah, there is a different flavor to this one. Because, like, FF7 is also, like, kind of a modern era Final Fantasy game. But this one feels like The Postman, like, kind of like...
Yes.
Like, feudal, post-apocalyptic a little bit. Like, yeah, people are still driving around in cars and stuff. But like you're saying, Benny, like, it feels a little bit like it's kind of started to, like, pull back to a, like, simpler, more agrarian kind of world.
And they do... explain it, yes and no, like why.
Yeah.
Later on, you find out there's this lunar event. It's just called the Lunar Cry, because there's this whole planet, this world is infested with really terrifying monsters.
Right.
Some of the models are great.
Yeah.
Well, how they get to your planet is through this weird kind of solar lunar eclipse thing. All the monsters that are on the moon, they get kind of gravity welled to the planet.
Right.
Is the planet just called Centra? I can't remember.
I thought that was the civilization.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's planet. Let's just say planet.
It's planet. Hey, it's Alpha Centauri.
Alpha Centauri, yeah. Planet.
Oh, the little wriggly red and black 2-armed worm monster things kind of look like they belong in Alpha Centauri too.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, that's just like where the game starts. Obviously, it gets much crazier and complicated, but that's kind of the catalyst of all the events with the different governments and states and schools kind of fighting against one another.
Yeah.
Which is funny because the opposing government that is attacking that town in the beginning, you actually end up going to the school that's in that government, in that state, and then everyone's just kind of like, cool, you're there.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally fine. But then you end up fighting them a little bit later. Like, it's the weird geopolitical shenanigans going on in this game too are also very fascinating.
Well, and I love that because there was a sense that, like, so the gardens, it felt like to your point, like, Kirk, it did feel that they were kind of like university-ish. Mm-hmm. And like when you got to Galbadia, so Galbadia is like the guys that have been invading everything. When you get to their garden, their school, it does have that same kind of like if I was a transfer student from an American university to a Soviet university and during the Cold War, like, everybody was just kind of like, okay, like, all right, well, you know, the headmaster or whatever would like to see it. Like, nobody's like freaked out. They're just like, yeah, okay, like, it's a school to school thing. Like,
yeah. Because they're more or less like calling them mercenaries is really true. A lot of the kids that graduate they're mercenaries, but they're just like mercenaries. They just attack whoever they get paid to attack.
Yeah.
So they're really, if they're not paid to attack you, they don't give a shit if you're there.
Right.
That's kind of the vibe I was getting.
Oh, can we real quick talk about Selphie also, because like she's the other one that you grab.
Yes.
The other character that joins your party.
Acquire?
Yes.
You acquire.
And her name really is Selphie.
Her name really is Selphie, which in 1999 didn't have quite the same
I don't even think that word even existed yet.
No.
As an actual action.
I don't know. Like, I've read a lot and watched a lot of content about this game, and I think it's so funny. Like, I had the exact opposite reaction to almost every character in this game than is apparently the general consensus. Like, I found Zell and Selphie to be adorable, and I just loved having them in my party and, like, listening to what they had to say. Because they're kids. They're just kids. You know what I mean?
Selphie being the youngest, I think she's actually, where your character is either 18 or 19, she's, I think, still 16.
Yeah.
She's young. And
And
for context, she's a new transfer student from Trabia Garden, which is another school on a different government, different continent, whatever. But she transferred in,
and she has a literal like, oh God, I bumped into you carrying my books meet cute with Squall, and it's just like, oh,
she straight up falls and tumbles down a hill at you.
Yes,
it's really funny.
She's the stereotypical anime clumsy girl, like stereotype, and it's like, but she's just fun and delightful, and I love that Irving like winds up like fixating on her because I'm like, that's your speed, you go with that, man.
Yeah,
like.
Then later on, as I play the game, I'm like, yeah, holy statutory, Batman. Like, you need to ease off, Irving. You may be 18, but she ain't yet.
Fair. But
I mean, again, like...
Let it age in the barrel just a little longer.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need to think before I talk.
But if we want to advance the plot forward, you find out who's kind of behind all these attacks besides the Galbadian government is also Sorceress Ida is her name. You find out who's also tied in with that government who is ordering these attacks because of a whole big master plan that's going on in the background. And you find out that is actually your headmaster's ex-wife.
Which is really weird.
Which is really weird.
I also thought it was weird that Sid in this game is like a old fat,
like a portly
teacher.
Yeah,
chummy little dude.
Yeah, I was like, why? Because normally the Final Fantasy. So if you don't know, Final Fantasy, a lot of Final Fantasy games have a Sid. Mm-hmm. There's a Sid.
Yeah. There's several repeats that tend to feature in almost all of them. Yeah. Sid being one of them. Biggs and Wedge from Star Wars fame being another one.
Yeah.
The names of whatever the flavor of summons are, whether we're calling them summons or eidolons or Guardian Force, gluten-free.
Yeah.
Girlfriends.
Yeah.
I thought, I did think it was girlfriend at first. And I was like, it can't be though, right?
Guardian Force.
Which
it's funny. In my newest playthrough, I would refer to them as girlfriends because I thought it was funnier. Like, I'm going to equip this girlfriend and this girlfriend.
Oh, that's so much funnier.
It's great. It's actually kind of fun to say, too, and think. Like, oh, yeah, she's my girlfriend. Or, no, you can
Carbuncle is my favorite girlfriend.
Yeah.
Cerberus is my favorite girlfriend.
Big titty goth Ifrit.
Ooh, Shiva. She can be my girlfriend.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Diablos
she straight up was like just so nude.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's these things in the game. You're probably used to summons if you played any Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
And this game they're called Guardian Forces. Like I've said, girlfriends or gluten free, whatever.
Whatever stupid reference.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of the same repeat ones like Ifrit. Bahamut is also in it too. He's fucking in damn near every.
Shiva is in almost all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shiva in this one is like an ice princess, but nude, really. I remember just being a young 14, 15, 16-year-old boy and being like, my pants got smaller every time I summoned her.
I liked brothers. The brothers are fun.
They're fun. Yeah, they're funny.
Silly.
Yeah. But
big
how...
one and the small one.
The smaller one is arguably the more dangerous one.
Way more dangerous, yeah.
And this game, getting these girlfriends is like some of them are optional.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to equip them or even find them because a lot of times to get them you have to fight them and defeat them.
Right.
Or you have to do a certain sequence of events or what have you. So that's I always kind of like that how if you wanted to get them you could.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna in some parts of the game. Yeah, sure, it could be a little more difficult. In like a Pokemon kind of way, where if you go to a gym that's all like water and all you have is fire, like it's going to be a little difficult. So that elemental thing can come to play. But again, it's not going to prevent you from beating the game.
No.
So that was always a fun thing. And then where this game gets kind of chastised for is also linked to the Guardian Forces a little bit and the junction system,
which was just. Okay, so I wanna just pause you for just a second.
No, go for it, man.
Because so I did something different this time where I actually was like, because I remembered from when we did the Games We're Thankful For that you guys were talking about the battle system in FF8 being like a little confusing and weird. And I was like, okay, I'm actually going to sit down. I'm going to watch a video explaining the junction system. And I was like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense, actually. And so then, like, I played the game in, I don't know if this is an optimal way or not, but once I figured out that the HP and levels of the bad guys scales with your level, so you're optimized to keep your level as low as you possibly can.
Yep. That's an achievement on the Steam version, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just junction the hell out of your guys to make them super strong that way.
Get as many stocked magic items as possible to boost those stats.
Yeah. So I finished disc 2 with everybody on about level 10. And it's like, and so I was just fucking rolling through that game. Like, I was like, this is like the easiest game ever.
So what Brent is referring to is really true, but the part he didn't say is where the HP also scales with your own character's HP. Some of their unlockable abilities, the enemies, they can't use them if they're at a certain level. So that's a whole other trick. There could be like entire huge attacks that they do that they just don't get to do because they're at such a low level.
Yeah.
So that's also part of the trick. Besides the HP, some of their attacks they just don't get to do.
But because I sat and watched a video of it before, I was like, oh, I get why people would hate this game. Because if you walked into this having played a lot of other JRPGs, the first thing you do, what do you do? Fellas, what do you do when you start a new JRPG?
You grind.
You grind. You get a couple levels up so that the rest of the game is a little easier. If you do that in FF8, you make the game immensely harder for yourself right away. And it's like, oh, people would fucking hate that. But it's like, if you know what you're supposed to do, it's not that brutal.
Yep.
And if you weren't going to buy the guide in 1998 or whenever,
Yeah.
there was no YouTube. There was no one to necessarily.
Yeah.
And as someone who
help you.
owned the guide, it still didn't make a lot of sense.
Well, and I didn't see, and the game does dump a lot of tutorials on you early.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
does.
really does.
But none of them mention that the enemy's level scales with your level.
Yep.
Because if they would have said that, I wouldn't have needed to go watch a video. I would have figured it out all on my own. It's like, oh, okay, so I want to keep my level low. And if you use the card ability, you just never have to level up, which is also very fun. And then you get to play more Triple Triad.
Yep. Card and card mod can effectively break the game.
Yeah.
And when you can start turning cards into items or magic, and then in turn junction those magic to certain things. Yeah,
exactly.
The game gets really fucking broke. You could be like level 10, but still have like 9,999 health. It's crazy.
I'm up to around like 1,200 HP. On level 10 on all my characters.
Do you mind if I explain real quick how junction works?
Please do, because I've been alluding to it, but I haven't said it.
I think
it's the most unique system in any Final Fantasy game.
Absolutely.
But the biggest problem, I'll say right out of the gate, I think the game fails failing to explain to you who can junction what, or what causes you to be able to junction.
Yeah.
Because when they show you the tutorial, those abilities or those junctionable things may not be available to you.
Yeah.
So how junctioning
that's
works
true.
in essence is, you use one of these girlfriends and they have the HP junction unlocked. And there's like magic defense, magic attack, physical defense, etc. Right. Effect status, that sort of thing. Well, if they have like HP unlocked, the more magic you have of something, like let's say in this instance, Cure.
Right.
If you junction Cure to HP, which is like a healing magic, it's going to make your HP increase exponentially, which is nice.
Right.
But the game doesn't explain to you very clearly that not every one of these girlfriends has that ability available to them.
Yeah.
Right.
or
Or
even
that
has it unlocked, or that it's even unlockable.
Right,
or that
'cause
the
they can-
number of the spells that you have also scales the amount
Yes.
of the boost that you get.
They kind of vaguely explain that, like the more you have of something, the more powerful of the effect. But they say that like one time when Quistis is saying it, like very briefly.
And
But that's also important.
I don't remember the game specifically talking about how important it was to manage what skills your Guardian Forces are learning.
Yes.
Because it's crucial.
Yeah.
And like
Some of those girlfriends, they have to learn that to unlock it for you to be able to use it.
and you really have to pay attention to what skills your individual GFs like have the ability to learn, and then pair two GFs together on, or multiple GFs together on a character that have different like overlapping abilities, so that you can open up as many junctions as you can for your character.
Like I know, like the brothers have the HP. I think Carbuncle also has the HP junction. Just for example, well, you don't want both of those girlfriends belonging to one of your characters. You want to split them up because you don't want that overlapping. That's just wasteful.
Because you can't junction twice.
Yeah, you can't junction twice. And also, what makes the junction thing a little more confusing is this is at the point in Final Fantasy where they briefly stopped using what's the MP system.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have these spells, so long as you have MP available, like like your HP pool, etc.
Sorry.
As long as you had MP available in your MP pool, just like your HP pool, you still had points in it, you could keep using it. Well, in Final Fantasy VIII, it's not that way at all. You don't have MP. You literally have a finite amount of...
It's a consumable.
Yeah, it's a consumable, but you can keep getting more of that magic. Like, let's say you have like 10 fire, right? Well, if you use all 10 fire, it doesn't mean you're out of it forever. You just need to go to like a draw point. They're all over the world, and pull more of these fire spells from that draw point.
Or find an enemy to draw from.
There's an enemy to draw from.
Refine them from other items.
Yep.
There's
Right. The card mod.
There's dozens of ways to get more of this. But yeah, I can't think of a single other game that treated magic as a consumable item rather than a resource pool.
Yep.
It's like you said.
It is really unique. And it makes sense from a story perspective when you find out that it's like, well, the characters don't really have, like, only sorceresses actually have natural magic in the game.
Yeah.
The other characters only have access to magic because of the Guardian Forces. And it's like, it's one of those things where the lore informs the gameplay, which is great. I love that.
Yeah.
I wish I would have learned the lore at the beginning when it would have been helpful to me for learning the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they really don't...
Even like a Legend of Zelda exposition dump just on like the nature of the world a little bit.
Yeah, would have been helpful.
Yeah. And they really don't... Again, they kind of very briefly explain that the amount, like let's say you have 100 of, let's use the example of fire like I did before.
Yeah.
If you have that junction to, let's say, junction status attack, well, that when you attack something physically, you're going to cause it to have more fire damage with your attack.
Right.
Then if you only had 25.
Yeah, then if you only had 25. I don't even know. Can you junction fire to physical attack? No, I don't think so. I think that's only for like blind and confused.
I think they're only status effects.
Yeah, status effects.
So I think it's like ST dash.
Yeah.
This sounds very confusing if you've never seen this, and I think we have to just understand, and the listener will have to just understand that this is not going to make perfect sense because the menu system itself is a little bit convoluted.
I was going to say that's the second failure. The menu system is, I think it was just a limitation of the hardware at the time.
Probably,
And also, where, I mean, arguably I'd say 10, its system is just as kind of clunky. But since they had a better GUI to better show it off and explain what's going on, it was easier to understand.
And honestly, like 12, which I did like a lot because I played that for the like embryonic version of the podcast. The 12 I did like a lot, but I feel like it
depends on which version of that you play too.
Yeah, I just
played the Zodiac
PS2.
Age or the original version.
Yeah, because
they're very different.
They are, yeah. Because I have the Zodiac Age for Switch.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
It plays really well. Yeah, but all the ire that's directed at FF12, I saw almost none of it directed at the like leveling system and like that side of it. And I found that more confusing than FF8's leveling system. Because here's the thing with FF8, you don't need to know exactly how it works. You can just go into the menus, in the junction menu, and
hit auto. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah, the game does, because it is convoluted enough where the game will opt to do it for you.
Well, but what I was going to say is, if you just go through and just, okay, let me see what it looks like with, it'll let you click through and it'll show you what it looks like with all the different magics, junctioned, all the different things, and you can start to go, oh, okay, heal magic is better on HP. You know what I mean? Attack magic is better on, and it's like, oh, this makes sense intuitively, and it'll let you just kind of mess around in there. And that's why I say, like, in general, this is a really good, like, chill, like, I just want to hang out and kind of fuck around game. If you're trying to play this to, like, just bulldoze through to the end, you're going to have a bad time. It's not designed for that at all.
Yep.
You can min-max, but you're going to be spending a lot of time in the tedium of micromanaging a dozen or more different attributes in different facets of how those attributes impact your character. It's going to get very tedious very quickly.
But but once you start to understand and like start to use Pokemon logic too, like, oh, I know I'm going to be fighting more, Earth type enemies coming up, so I'm going to junction a lot of like wind magic type stuff to my magical defense. So when they attack, it's going to be negated, or in some instances, it can heal you if you have enough of the opposing magic. Where if someone, like, let's say you have a fire-based opponent again, and you have enough fire magic where you actually junction that to your defense, if they try to use fire magic against you, it can heal you, which is very interesting. So if you use that knowledge to your advantage, you can really make a lot of enemies and bosses super crazy, insanely easy. But it's just understanding where the game failed, how it doesn't tell you how to even unlock that ability to junction magic to that specific stat. Like, that's why I think so many people hate it.
Well, and they separate. There's like an initial junction tutorial, and then a couple hours later, you encounter a different junction tutorial about like status effect, like status defense and status impact for like your attacks. And so like you have to remember what they taught you the first time, and then learn to apply it by going to a different menu and understanding what to junction to those at that point.
And a lot of times you run into tutorials that happen after you needed to have already figured it out. Like, so there's there's a section of the game where Squall and Quistis go through the like training ground area.
She talks to you about the T-Rexosaurus.
Right.
Yeah. And I know what you're talking about.
The sleep thing.
Yes.
And you don't even have the ability to necessarily do it at the time.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes, that, and at no point up to that point has it taught you how to junction abilities, like how to add abilities onto your character. By default, the only ability that your character has is attack.
Yeah. So
draw, magic, item, card, all that stuff, you have to add on later. Well, the game hadn't taught me yet that I needed to do that. So when I walked in there, Quistis only had attack. That was all she had. And I didn't know that I needed to add anything. So I had, in this battle with the T-Rex, Squall went down pretty quick, was low health. And I was like, oh shit, I need to potion him or heal him. But I had no way from Quistis to do it. Because she only had attack as an ability.
So, and that's another thing. They don't tell you, you have to have a girlfriend equipped to even be able to add those abilities to your person. Yeah.
So unless you have a girlfriend, you can't use a potion.
You can't use magic if you don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Loser.
That makes sense.
So I played the enhanced edition of this from Steam.
Okay.
That's the version I played. What version did you play?
I played the original PS1 version, and I put 2 hours into the Switch port. Don't play the Switch port.
Okay.
The Switch port sucks. It's in 4x3. How fucking lazy.
What?
do you have to be to release a 4x3 port for a 16x9 handheld in the 2020s?
I can't help but feel that's somehow Nintendo's fault.
Probably.
Well, and DuckStation, the PS1 emulator that I used to play this game, has a perfectly cromulent 16:9 widescreen hack. I played it in 1080p. I mean, like, it looked great. Like,
so I will say that is one of the advantages as well of the enhanced version.
Yeah.
In addition to what we were just talking about, which I want to address, I think that the enhanced edition massages some things around a little bit. There is I think there's a tutorial in that version that shows you how to assign abilities before you get to that stage.
okay.
I am now finding that maybe that's the version that I would recommend people play because
And you can fast forward and shit too.
Yeah.
you can fast. And there are some creature comforts features of that are pretty nice, especially if you just want to play this casually and get the story.
Yeah.
There's the 3x speed. There's a no random encounters button, and there's also a basically max power thing where like it puts your ATB
Max
at
power.
full power.
Yeah.
It puts your ATB, so like your initiative bar of like when you can act in battle is always full. So like you're constant. Like honestly, you can
so
just
every time you
can spam
always
you can
do stuff.
spam almost every fight to the finish before an enemy takes action.
It's a clever
almost
way
all
of
the time.
making it like a super easy mode.
And
Yeah.
it puts you at limit break every time.
Oh,
Which the limit breaks on this are fucking dope.
So
Yeah.
it is kind of I was using that off and on. So I'd do a couple fights and like I'd prove to myself that I could, I was okay. I'm here. I've played a lot of JRPGs. It's fine. I'll run through these normal, and I'll click that button and then just limit break my way through
Wreck
the
shit,
area and
yeah.
then to the next section. And I feel a little bit bad about that, but also apparently not bad enough to admit it here on the podcast.
No.
They also have higher resolution character models
Yes,
and higher
yeah.
polygon character models.
They still look like shit, but
They
it is
do.
an improvement.
I would say they're like PS2 quality models at that point. Or somewhere in it's like PS like 1.5 models. They're higher polygon.
PSP.
The hair is sure.
Yeah.
The hair is higher quality.
Yeah.
It just I think there's some changes that are very subtle but good in that version. I'm just saying it because it's a version I recommend picking up if you're willing to spend money on it.
Does it have the terrible kerning and shitty font face that Square Enix insists on putting on all their remakes and enhanced versions?
Still
of
have
the
the
retro
original
games.
one for the most part, if I remember
I
correctly.
think the entire interface is honestly the loading menu that like the bootloader that they put in front of it is the worst part. They added this weird in between menu that doesn't need to be there.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, and you actually have to have a keyboard and a controller, or at least be
Gotta
like
love Japanese PC ports.
It's very, very strange, but ultimately, it's a good version of the game
Yeah,
to
well,
play.
once you get past that, then it's just all the original menus and shit again, which
Okay.
is nice.
yeah.
Square Enix has this tendency to create these like overly rounded, very bland, non-pixel art, white on gray fonts, the terrible kerning that they managed to throw into every remake and enhanced edition of their old games. And I'm like, oh, good. I was enjoying my game, and then I got interrupted by a fucking menu from a Flash game from Newgrounds. Thanks. I love Calibri.
But
Sorry, I know I took us off the rail there. I was just talking about the fact that like there is a version where I think the tutorials get rearranged.
I got you.
Possibly,
Yeah.
it's possible that that's the case, where you get what you need in the order you need it, more or less, because it does feel a little out of order in the original. I
Yep.
do remember that.
And then I remember the first time I played the game, I was like, fuck, this game's fucking garbage, because like they didn't tell me I could. Well, they do tell you, but I didn't understand it at the time, being the age I was, where like your first girlfriends or your first gluten-frees, your first good feels, whatever, you actually get them
Grass-feds?
from a So stupid. No, you get them from the terminal in the school, like right there, right by you. I think Quista says, like, hey, don't forget to get your whatever, check the terminal. But you can just not do that and continue on with the game. Although I think it damn near makes it impossible after that. But
that would be really hard.
I remember getting all the way to the Ifrit fight, which is... Because at this point in the game, at the very beginning, you're on a rail. Essentially. I mean, you can wander around to the different town, but for the most part, it's still, story-wise, it's on a rail. And getting all the way to that fight, I'm like, how the fuck do I... even through the, like, tutorial thing of the junction system, I'm like, I don't even have any of these. How do I do this?
Yeah.
And then I found out when I, like, started a new game and then actually was reading... I found out, I needed to go to my little adorable classroom terminal to pick up these 2 free girlfriends.
Hey guys, Future Brent here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here, and we'll finish up our discussion of Final Fantasy VIII on the next episode. If you like what we're doing, go ahead and like and subscribe and all that crap. I hate doing this stuff, but basically, if you like it, let people know. That's the main thing. Go ahead and just open up your window and shout out the window that you like our show, or carrier pigeon, smoke signal, whatever you got. Anything to get more people to join our Discord, because I'm very lonely. Very lonely man. I need more people to talk to me about video games. I have a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. Bye!
Hey, look, alcohol.
It's true. I got it just for you. Ignore the fact that it was already open and I poured myself a glass.
He exacerbated into it.
I like that it's slowly going from exacerbate to exasperate. It's like I'm exasperating into this. I'm draining all my anger into this cup.
Oh God! Oh,
Words
that got very verby really quickly.
Words are fun.
Words are fun. This guy's got.
I verbed into the noun.
I verbed the adjective noun.